Hey there, and welcome to exercise number 62. In this one, we need to write a function named getCheckPassword that receives a string representing a password as a parameter. The function should return another function. Let's name this one checkPassword. The return function will also receive a string as a parameter and should return true if it matches the password. Otherwise, it should return false. I know this might be a bit complicated, so let's look at the example below. I hope it will clear things up. As you can see, we initially call the getCheckPassword function and we pass it a string, in which case is a password with the value mySecretPassword. Now we get another function, and when I call this function with another string, it returns either true or false if that string matches the initial password. And we can see here, if I call it with 1234, it returns false, right? That's not my password. If I call it with test, exclamation mark, and this one, then it should also return false. But if I call it with mySecretPassword, it should return true. If you want to solve this exercise for yourself, which I highly encourage you to do, then click on the link in the description. If not, keep watching and we're going to solve it together. This is the first exercise in which we return another function. So again, it might be a bit more complicated than the rest, but hopefully I can explain it good for you. Now, looking at the description, so we have a function that receives a string and returns another function. So let's actually do that. So I'm going to return another function here. Now this function is called checkPassword. So let me actually name it. So I'm going to say const checkPassword is. And this one is also going to be, let me return it. This one is also going to receive a string as a parameter. So let me call this password to check. Now, looking at the description, this return function, so checkPassword, should return true if the parameter matches the password. Otherwise, it should return false. So basically here we need to say, okay, return password, or actually let's do an if, maybe that makes more sense. If password is equal to password to check, return true, otherwise return false. And yeah, that's it. This is the solution. I know you might be thinking, whoa, wait, this is all it is? Yeah, this is all it is, but again, let's go through it one more time. So we have a function, getCheckPassword, that receives a string. This one is going to return a new function, so I declare here a new function and I return it. This new function is also going to receive a string. I called it password to check. And we want to check if this secondary parameter is equal to the initial one. So basically I can do stuff like this. Let me actually do const checkPassword is getCheckPassword of, let's say a password 1234. And then I can use it like this. Okay, console log checkPassword of, is it apples? No, false. Is it 1234? No, false. What about password 1234? And we get true. Now, you may be thinking, how is this working? And this is the magic of closures. So basically, when we return this new function, checkPassword, that has access to this parameter, a closure is created and this parameter will persist in memory as long as we have this function which we can call, and it will access the parameter. Now, I don't want to get into closures too much into this, for right now, but this is what's actually happening behind the scenes. Now, before ending this video, let's actually test our solution, and voila, it works. Cheers, and see you in the next one.